This is my new car. I'm gonna title the video, "This is my new car." Yeah, look at that, it's fucking smart.
First things first, let's talk about facts and works. Your boy mash no works. Talk about guns, we on that work. Never. And to make shit worse, I got all 5, that's real blood first. He got zinged and he got burst. Next outcome getting put in the dirt. Dead boy. How the fuck are they king of this shit? How? When none of them's king and shit. Pussies. It was me who got man yitch that yitch in front of his bitch. Oh no. Now we glad we bruised like witch. Spot me your up man's letting it rip. War is war, no settling this. They never got touched, they ain't telling you this. Yo.
You saw the scale weight this morning, 172.6 or 8, was it? Can't remember now, I need to double check. Which is 13 pounds down from when I first started 5 weeks ago. So definitely moving in the right direction, and I'm gonna show you what I'm looking like at the moment. My tea's gone cold, I'm wondering why I got out of bed at all. The morning rain clouds up my window, and I can't see it all. Even if I could, it'll all be great. But your picture on my wall, it reminds me that it's not so bad, it's not so bad. This is what we use for our check-in photos. It's basically like a backdrop. And if you are wanting to take progress pictures, my best advice, especially if you're white, you need a darker background so you can stand out a little bit more. Get yourself one of these. I'll link it down below. It's about 30, 40 quid. I must admit, they are a pain in the arse to fucking fold up, like such a pain in the arse, like to the point where it's like, is it even worth getting it? I would certainly recommend this for your check-in photos. Keep pointing, I'm just fucking arms just pointing like this. Fucking fuck off. Got a new supplement to try. I'm gonna give this bad boy a go today. So you might be wondering what this product does. So it's called Power Up. It's from Affinity. I think they just call it Affinity. It's not Affinity Sports or anything like that. It's a very simple ingredient supplement. So it's got your 5 grams of creatine in it. And the main reason I probably take this on rest days, I don't know why, but I automatically just always forget about taking creatine. Training days is totally fine. I always add it into my intra workout. I never forget it. But rest days, I always forget, and I feel like I'm gonna get fucking smaller if I forget taking creatine. It's tragic, right? It's only a little bit of creatine, a little bit of powder. I'm like those guys that say, I'm starting to behave like those fuckers that, you know, wonder what time they should take their creatine. They message me going, "Hi George, hope you're okay. What time should I take my creatine throughout the day? Should I be taking it at 11 AM? Should I be taking it at 20 past 12 in the afternoon? Should I be taking it at 6 PM in the evening? Is that more anabolic?" Listen, you fucking wanker. Same with this. Take it any time throughout the day. I normally drink it whilst I'm on the walk with Diesel, so I'm about to go out for an hour's walk. It's a rest day today, so I've got 12,500 steps. I'm gonna go to a reservoir, and I know that walk is roughly about 7,500 to 8,000 steps, depending on what route I go. So I usually will sip on that for my rest days. But yeah, take your creatine on your rest days. This is a great tool if you do forget about it as well. It's got a few other ingredients. See if you can zoom in on that. See if that focuses. Is it gonna focus? I don't know. I don't know if you can see this right now because I can't see where it's focusing or not. Either way, that's what it's got in it. I might write on the screen if I can be bothered. Fucking, that's a big ass though. What flavour is this? All the fruits well sick. I haven't got a clue what the flavour is. It says all fruits well mixed, caveman, affinity. The fuck's the flavour then? Well, this is just going to be a guessing game then. Fair. Also got my new supplement mat. How clean do these shakers look? This is my favourite one. This and the golden one. I really like the golden one. I also got a black one. Very nice. And I've also got a blue one. Which one's your favourite colour? This one's my favourite colour, or the gold one. Don't get me wrong, blue is my favourite colour. And grey. When people ask me what's your favourite colour, I say grey. They're like, really? I'm like, yeah, it's a good colour. I love grey. Anyway. Let's not do that again. Fucking hell. This guy knows my routine, so once I start pouring water into my bottle, he knows. He just knows. You just Fucking hell. Scratching my mask on. Look at you. Dickhead.
You're a twat, you know that, Diesel.
You're a twat.
Man, scratch my hand. Fucking cut, you can't see it, it kills. Speak! Speak!
Reservoir. Remember when I came here first time and I was so fascinated by it. Whoa. So just out with the dog. Lovely view behind me. Look at that. Beautiful. Look at that. Beautiful. You appreciate these sort of things as you get older. 25 now. I start to appreciate nature and water and fresh air. Anyway, so we've got Diesel here being an annoying little twat. Give us a spin then. Give us a spin. Give us a twirl. Good boy, go back. Yeah, good boy. Yeah, good boy. The thing I wanted to chat to you guys about was a little quote that I can't remember what book it's from now. I think it's called The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. Correct me if I'm wrong. But this quote goes, control what you can control and don't worry about what you can't control. In my life, I've always been worried about the things that don't necessarily matter or the things that are being out of my control. I think this stemmed from like the COVID situation. Like I was worried about a lot of things in my life. It was then taken away from the things that I could potentially control, you know. I was putting a lot more effort into the things that didn't necessarily matter. And one thing that I want to mention here, and one thing that you can take from this part of the video is just that you control what you can control. You put your energy, your time and effort into that side of things. And then outside of it, don't fucking worry. Don't worry. Like let life take you wherever it needs to be. Because that's life, unfortunately. And life is a bit of a roller coaster. There will be ups, there will be downs. When we think about certain situations, we feel like it's the end of the world. Just remember that it's out of your control. You can control. The one thing you can control is you can control how that makes you feel. So, like for example, the pandemic. Like I was sitting there thinking, fuck me, where is this going? What is happening to my life? But at the same time, I just remember that, you know, things like that do happen, and unfortunately that is a part of the process. And once I started to flick that switch and started to not worry about it, then all of a sudden it used to be a lot easier for me to control. So yeah, that was a bit awkward, talking about fucking life, giving motivational speaks, giving quotes, and people walk past and look at me like, what the fuck is this guy doing? Luckily I've got a dog, otherwise I'd be sitting here like Jack P had, waiting for the next girl to walk around the corner. I'd be like this. You see a girl walking over there, I'd be like this. That twat would be straight after him. So my car has gone in for its yearly, is it yearly service? Or is it every 2? I can't remember, but it's gone in for a service. And today I'm in a Q2. Now, when I saw Q2 on the paper, I was thinking, this is just like a B-Tech version of a Q3. Like Q2s are, I don't know, I just see them, they look flimsy. They just look like, it almost kind of look like an A1, you know. I drive an A3. Driving an A1 is a bit girly. You know, a Q2 I think is quite girly. However, when I went and saw it and they showed me it, I was like, okay, this looks fucking hard. So I'm going to show you what this car looks like. I've only got it for the day, annoyingly. But I just don't want to give it back because I'm quite high up in this car. Like, it's quite a high, it's not a high car, but it's a lot higher than my A3 I've got at home. And I'm thinking, I can get quite used to this. Me being 5'6", quite short, I quite like the feeling of being higher than what I actually am, if that makes sense. It's a bit of an ego thing for me, unfortunately. Let me know if you like it in the comments below. This is what we're playing with. New little 2022 plate, bosh. It's not bad. Like the black trims on it. Tinted windows. I think this is quite a smart car. I could probably see myself. I don't want to give it back. Look at that. Look at that. I can hear you. Get here, you fucking prick. It's 4-burn. This is my new car. I'm going to title the video, this is my new car. Yeah, look at that. It's fucking smart. Jeez. I rate that. It's nice and clean. And the interior, come on, check this bad boy out. Come on. Very similar to my A3, but it's got the virtual cockpit, which I really like. My car hasn't got that. I wish my car did have that, but yeah. Really spacious. Automatic as well. Love an automatic. Haven't driven an automatic in years. And fuck me, it whizzes off the line, that's for sure. I think it's about 180 horsepower, 150 horsepower, something like that. Yeah, boy. I could easily drive one of these. Easily. I like it. I don't want to give it back. £865 later, we have my car returned. Bastards. I had to get a cam belt. It was a cam belt was due or something like that. I had to have an oil change. And annoyingly, because long story short, I'm not going to bore you with this dead talk that I've got. But I got my car from Audi Liverpool, yeah. I went up to Liverpool and fucking get it. With the agreement with the car that I got, I was allowed a free service. However, apparently that free service is only allowed at Liverpool Audi. When I was living back down south in Bedfordshire, which is 20 miles north of London, they expect me to fucking travel all the way from Luton up to bloody Liverpool, which is about four-ish hour drive for a fucking car service. Are you mad? That weren't a part of the agreement, so I'm gonna have to try and fucking sort something out because they couldn't do my service. But always go with Audi because Audi, I tell you what, they looked after me. They gave me a coffee. Even though I said no, I don't want a coffee, they looked after me. The woman was alright. I was chatting to her, offered me nice stuff, offered me food, all that sort of good jazz. Top quality service. So Audi Wakefield, shout out my breaders. My breaders, yeah? My breaders. 800 quid later, I'm fucking skint. We're going to make some salmon. I'm going to show you how to make beautiful, sound like Gordon Ramsay, absolutely beautiful salmon in the oven. Delicious. Hey Siri, set a timer for 20 minutes. No. 20 minutes in the oven, full blast. So that's the maxi, what's that, 250 degrees. You wait until these bad boys come out. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Quick one, the salmon fillets that I use, I actually go to Asda and they sell these packs of 6. But at the moment, like, I have salmon on my rest days. So for example, on a leg day, I have salmon fillets either side of my rest. What the fuck am I talking about, you fucking prick? Right, sort you out, George. Get this right, because I ain't doing it again. Asda, they sell packs of 6 salmon fillets for £10. At the moment, on my rest days, I'm having salmon fillets. I have, for example, let's say a leg day, I rest either side of leg days. So in the space of 3 days, I'm having salmon twice. These are great. They're cheaper. They're the same size. They also have the skin on it. I don't know how people are like, I don't eat the skin on the salmon fillet. It's the best fucking bit. What are you doing, you little weird twat? You know? Get yourself the salmon fillets. Go to Asda. Look at this twat down here. Getting attention. Get yourself down to Asda. Get yourself some salmon fillets. Bosh. I'll show you what these bad boys look like afterwards and you're not going to be disappointed. It's my favourite meal out of the whole plan on train days, rest days. This is my favourite meal that I look forward to. So I'm glad I'm resting either side of leg days at the moment because, salmon fillet. Get in my fucking gob. Get in there, go on, get in your gob. Get in the fucking gob. Moment of truth. Wee. Boy, one of those is yours, you lucky boy. You very lucky boy. Hey! Come on. You know, you look at them and you're thinking they are little paintings. Look at that. Bosh, motherfuckers. This is my favourite meal on the plan. Little bit of mustard, little bit of ketchup on top there. Mix it all together. Bosh. I will do a full day of eating on a rest day at some point very soon. So you can see kind of what I'm eating currently on these rest days, but this is one of the meals that I'm having at the moment. Splendid. I'll look forward to that. And that salmon fillet there is for a very lucky German Shepherd named Diesel. That's yours. That is yours. You lucky boy. So I wanted to briefly round up some of the changes that have been made in this prep. And this is the first change that has happened. And believe it or not, it's only a minor little change to the plan itself. Long story short, my split previously was push, pull, legs, rest, push, legs, off, pull, off, repeat. If that made any sense to anyone? I had to fucking work that out in my head, Jesus Christ. However, now what I'm doing is push, pull, off, legs, off, push, pull, off, legs, off. The difference there is obviously I'm not training 3 days in a row. And the reason why I'm not doing that is I just found that when I got to that third day and it was a leg day, as I'm on lower food, as I'm dieting, as I'm losing weight, that sort of accumulative fatigue is starting to build up, and I'm starting to realise that those rest days are becoming more important. And for me, training 3 days in a row is difficult to do in a diet. In a surplus, not so bad, but in a deficit, I really struggle to go into that third day with the same aggression as I would after having that rest day. Resting either side of legs now, simply because leg days are big days for me. Like, you know, it's one of the biggest days of the week in terms of like the sheer amount of volume, the effort that I need to put in those training sessions. So allowing me to rest either side of those allows me to put full effort into those training sessions without taking away from recovery demands. And then obviously I'm training just the 2 days on, 1 day off approach now, which works pretty well with me. I've worked with that pretty much for the whole entire my off season so far, and I do thoroughly enjoy it. I never train really 3 days in a row. It's very unlike me. So yeah, that's the only changes that have been made. Steps are still in. I'm still doing no cardio. I'm 15 pounds down. As you're watching this video, I know I weighed 172.6 I think at the beginning of the video. Now I'm 170.2. Since then I've obviously dropped a bit of weight. It's coming down quickly, you know, like I'm 15 pounds down. I've not done 1 second of cardio. My food is still relatively in a good spot. My steps are still relatively in a good spot. They're not like high at all. And like I said in my other video, like this has probably been the easiest diet that I've ever done so far. You know, the easiest 15 pounds I've ever dropped. I think a lot of that correlates to what you do in your off season as well. Obviously there's a genetic component to it. The beauty of what I was doing in my off season is I was eating a lot of food, plus having a sushi night once a week, which was putting me way more in it. I was eating probably 4,000 or 5,000 calories that whole entire day. One thing that I would say to you guys, if you are in your off seasons or bulks now, gather ammunition for that diet. Prepare yourself for a diet by allowing you to eat as much food as you possibly can. Obviously there is a limit to that, but trying to start your deficit in the highest point when it comes to food makes it so much easier when it comes to dieting. So yeah, that's the only adjustment that I'm going to make. Comment down below mouse if you watched the whole thing. Really appreciate you watching. Thanks as always. Drop a like if you're new around here, and as always, I shall see you guys in the next one. Me and Gaz are recording a day in the life on Friday, so that should be live over the next sort of week. And we recorded yesterday as well with a little bit of massage work, and it was a deadlift session, so be on the lookout for that. Anyway, plenty of it, too much of this. Enjoy the rest of your day.